Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace be unto you. How are y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? I'm so blessed to be in here once again. Let me know if y'all can hear me well. Just give me a one in the chat if you can hear me. I'm cutting down my background music, but let me know if you can hear me pretty well tonight. I gotta check every now and then. You know how it is with StreamYard. You know how it is, how they do what they do. But tonight we are going to be having a very interesting conversation. We are going to be talking about T.D. Jakes versus Black woman or Black women. Was he right about Black women? So we're going to be getting into that whole conversation tonight. It's going to be a very intriguing one, I hope. So let me go ahead and take a look at this comment section. All right, y'all can't really hear me. Okay, see, I knew it was a good thing for me to check. Can you hear me now? All right. I hear someone says, yes, I can hear you. I got a lot of twos. Go ahead and let me know if there are any ones. Can y'all hear me? Okay. All right. I got some ones. All right. Now, there we go. There we go. I think I was probably a little too far away from the mic. That's all that was. I have to figure out my seating tonight. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get me a stool or something. So anyway, peace and blessings, family. Tonight we're going to be having a nice little conversation. As you see, it's going to be about the whole situation between T.D. Jakes, a sermon he preached last month. And I think that it's a very important conversation for us to have. It's just necessary, y'all. I mean, it's not even so much of a hot topic. It's not really even a hot topic. I think it's something that's just kind of been brewing in the culture for a while now. And what he said actually just, it got to a lot of people, got to a lot of folks. So we're going to talk about it. But before we do, I want to, first off, I want to thank all of you. You guys are amazing. Amazing. I want to thank all of you so much for all the birthday love and support that you showed me. The Bond Day, he said in the islands, Bond Day, right? I want to thank all of you so much for just your love and your support. It meant so much to me. I'm telling you, I had such a phenomenal day. And the reason why is because I got to spend it with people that I love. It's amazing. It's like when you get older, I don't want to say when you get older, when you get seasoned, when you get more mature in life, you begin to value different things. And that's not to say that, I don't value having, nice material things, but I'm telling you, this birthday was particularly special because I got to spend it with the ones that I love. No, my boys were not here. I wish my boys were here, but they made sure to call me early in the morning, though I didn't get that phone call, came through to my husband's phone, but they did call just to check on their mommy and say happy birthday to me. And then all of you did so as well. So thank you so much. And I just want to let y'all know this is going to be a panel discussion. Those who are Patreon and members, you already have your access code, your link. If you want to jump in, you can jump into the chat at any time. You can. I'm going to open the chat up a little bit later. I'm going to be discussing a couple of things, my perspective on everything. And then I will open up the chat a little bit later to everyone else. But to those of you who are patrons and members, you get first access and you can jump on at any time to say your piece, your 2 cents, your point of view. Definitely want to hear it. I would love to hear from male as well as female perspective. All right. Now, the other thing is, family, I want you all, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Okay. You love me. I love you. Okay. I want y'all to do me a favor and to subscribe to the 714 Movement channel. Okay, go ahead and subscribe to it. I've been uploading some great content there over the last couple of days, overcoming worry as well as prayer against depression and loneliness. And I just really believe that this is something that the Most High has been laying on my heart to do for some time. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know whether or not I was going to switch this channel over to just be a channel specifically for prayer, but I do believe that what we focus on this channel is very much needed. But at the same time, so is prayer. So is prayer. So definitely take a little bit of time out and subscribe to this channel over here. And I'll go ahead and put the information in the description so that y'all can do that. And finally, I want to remind all of you to go ahead and book your session with Brew Talk Personal Development and Family Coaching. Y'all, especially for the stuff we're going to be talking about tonight, okay? Because this is the kind of stuff we cover in coaching. It ain't no joke. Just on a personalized level, we dig in to what's going on with you, right? You and your family and your crew. We all love a message that is something that can penetrate our hearts, that's spread wide and abroad to everyone. But there's nothing like having personalized coaching, having somebody who can pour in to you. And I would love to be that person. Okay, so join our family and check out my website, ashondatlarge.org/brewtalk to go ahead and get yourself registered today. So, family, y'all know we can't talk unless I say what's up to the fam. Y'all know how we do. All right, so peace and blessings to you. Zeke Rich, how are you, my brother? He says, how can a false teacher be right about my Israelite sisters? He works for Hasatan and his fallen angels and demons. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. We are. Okay, but welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Ashonda at Large. And want to welcome as well my brother Clifford Possible. Peace and blessings to you. Jason Camfor, shalom, my brother. How are you? Azariah bin Yahuda, shalom, mishpaka. That's right. Salama to the family. Hadassah Yah Yisrael, shalom to you as well. Barbara Rigney, Shabbat shalom. Angela Bowden, peace and blessings to you. Mr. The Original School up in the building, peace and blessings to you as always. My sister Mariah M up in the building. That's like my mom, y'all. That's like she like a mother. Yeah, that's right. Sister Nia Zeki up in the building, peace and blessings to you. Sister Susan Gaboni, peace and blessings. Faithful sister in Yah, shalom, shalom. Glad to have you here. Chosen Hebrew, shalom, shalom to you. Brother J High Style. There you go. I'm getting tongue twisted. How you doing, my brother? Glad to have you in the building. Sister Lynn Bernard, glad to have you here as well. Game Maniac 981, peace and blessings. My sister Ruama up in the building. Hope you can hear me now, sis. Curtis Harris says, yes, I can hear you. Peace and blessings to you. Glad to have you here. All right, let's see. We got lovely Africa up in the building. Peace and blessings to you. Who else do we have here? Miss Lils Morris 1. All right, TD Jakes has sold his people for success, so he is doing what he needs to stay in tune with what Massa wants him to say. All right, now, that's what I'm talking about. I want to know where everybody's thoughts and perspective are tonight. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get in with it. Narada I ain't gonna say H-E double Happy Six. No, Jakes ain't right. He's just jumping on Kevin Samuels' train for clout. Are we gonna talk about it? Sister Judea Songs. Amen. Peace and blessings to you, sis. Peace and blessings to you. All right. I think I might have got everybody. Oh, thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you so much for the birthday gift. Chocolate Sunflower, shalom. Shalom to you. My sis, Brooke Queen Yisrael up in the building. Thumb up. That's right. That's right. Thumb that up. Thumb this up, family. My brother, Floyd Spears, up in the building. How are you, my brother? Can't miss you. Can't miss you, my brother. Glad to have you. And Najas, truth, peace, and blessings to you. Yes, that's right, mama. My little baby. All right, family. So in any case, we're going to go ahead and get in with the nitty gritty. I still got this music playing in the background a little bit. I'm going to try to get myself a little bit more comfortable as we have this discussion. So listen now, I have to tell y'all, there's a snippet, right, of a sermon that we saw last month by the infamous Reverend TD Jakes, right? And oftentimes I don't focus on the televangelist so much on this channel because I just feel like they're low-hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they've been picked on a million times. I just don't really like to discuss bad theology among them. I don't, because it's like, okay, you know what? We all know that a lot of them are just TD snakes, right? That's the idea, that we understand. We come out of that world. We all watched TBN. The Most High took us out of that world. So I don't really deal with them too much, but he made a very, very controversial statement. And of course, From that snippet, everybody had something to say. So I'm going to go ahead and share that snippet. So for those of you who did not get the opportunity to hear what Mr. Jakes had to say, you can hear firsthand for yourself. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Let me make sure I get that little thing off of there real quick. Yeah, I don't need to see all that share stuff on there. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and share this and take a listen.
Had not allowed Eve to pour into him, sin would have never come into the world. If Adam had not allowed Eve to pour into him, sin would have never come into the world. Sin came into the world because Adam broke the order. We were not designed to receive from women. Your self-esteem is compromised when you have to ask your wife for lunch money. I'm not saying you got to be rich. I'm not saying you got to be famous. I'm saying that you have got to be the one who pours in, not the one who takes out. When Adam started eating out of his wife's hand, sin came in because the divine order was broken. This breaks all sociological order of the culture we're living in now, because we are raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house, but until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why I shy away. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back to me this morning. The conversation has become, let's prove to the men how dispensable they are. And it is born out of pain because we hurt you and betrayed you and lied to you and cheated to you. And you became like you became out of pain. Oh, Lord, I told you they wasn't gonna like this, Jesus.
All right, family, y'all got a chance to hear Mr. Jakes and the snippet. And I say it's a snippet because remember, this comes from an entire sermon. Okay, this was an entire sermon. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull this out real quick so y'all have to take a look at it. So do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat. And this is specifically for women. Okay, specifically for our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, our aunties. I want you to put a 1 in the chat if that snippet that you heard offended you, okay? And then I want you to put a 2 in the chat if that snippet that you heard did not offend you, okay? And here's what I want to do tonight. What I want to do is I do not want to be an echo chamber, okay? I do not want us to be an echo chamber. I want us to really dig down deep on the inside of who we are. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Don't worry about what your neighbor thinks. Don't worry about, oh, is this the collective? If I put a 1 or if I put a 2, am I going to be, looked at funny? Okay. So Lynn Bernard puts 2. Okay. Remember, 1 is if you were thoroughly offended and 2 is if you were not offended. Niyazaki puts 2. Chosen Hebrew puts 1. All right, let's see here. We got Chine Moss 2. Joy 31608 2. Michelle Yashiral 1. Yas Beatrice 2. Naja's Truth 1. Sister Talisha Yas is not offended. Okay. All right. Faithful sister and Yah, 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, I hear you there. Sister Mariah says 2. Judea says 2. He is not talking about me. I like that. He's not talking about me, girl. I know that's right. Susan Gaboni puts a 2 in the chat. Yas Grace puts 2. And Carol Randall puts 2. Call Me Cat said 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Brooklyn Israel 2. You Taylor says 50, 50. Ruama 2. Amstone 2. Todd Wilson. Todd, you ain't no woman. I said for the women. I'm gonna get to the brothers. See, don't worry, y'all gonna get y'all chance to speak tonight. I'm taking my time tonight. That's why y'all came on here. All right, Azariah Ben Yehuda. Now look, I don't know from your name, but I think you a man too. Okay, if you ain't a man, you let me know. Barbara says 1. Offended. You know what? All these brothers try. Okay, I'm gonna just move on to the brothers. Men, do not worry about the opinions of your sisters in the chat. If you were not offended, then put a 1. If you agree with TD Jakes, his full statement, put a 1. If you disagree and you were offended, put a 2. And if you're halfway, just say you're halfway. I'm halfway, whatever, you know. Y'all gonna make me laugh tonight. They gonna make me laugh tonight, AM Stone. They gonna make me laugh tonight. Oh, come on, that brothers over here, silent. Don't be silent, y'all. Don't be silent. Don't even try it. No, don't even be silent. We got one brave soul. Azariah Ben Yehuda says, no, he said, which one do I do again? I say what? Did I say 1 is not offended? Or 1 is offended? Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, okay. Jay Highstyle says 1, man gots to be a man. IJS. All right. Voting again. 1 for sure. Zeke Rich says 2. Okay, Zeke Rich says I am offended because I remember 2 is I'm offended. He says 2. All right. Okay. Azariah says I agreed with him. Okay. All right. Come on. Any more brothers in the building? Come on now. All right. That's right, Jan. So 1 is not offended. Okay. I'm sorry. I was just laughing so hard I forgot. Okay. All right. So now that we got a kind of healthy outlook on where everybody kind of stands. Okay. You got other brothers in here. Other brothers in here saying 1, I was not offended. Jacob C said I was not offended. TL Word said I was not offended. Esther says 2, they always blame the woman, but Abba Yah will use the woman to avenge himself. Genesis 3:15. Okay, that's a good point. That is a good point. If y'all don't know what Genesis 3:15, that is saying that the seed of the Most High is going to come through the woman, and he's going to crush the seed of the serpent. All right. So yes, thank you so much for that scripture. Mr. Original School says not offended at all. All right. Now I'm going to tell y'all how I felt about it. When I initially heard the snippet, like most sisters, I heard about it. Shout out to Sister Deborah. I heard about it initially on her channel. So actually, no, I heard about another sister's channel and she was going live on it, but I didn't really understand the context of what was going on too much. And I was in and out. But when I really heard and I sat down, I listened to Sister Deborah's opinions. I did not see the video myself. I just heard her opinions about it. And so based off of her opinions, I was like, oh my goodness, like, what did he say? So I said, we need to have this discussion. But I got a chance to listen to the snippet of what he said. And immediately, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was offended at the first part of what he said. I was offended, right? And I go in and I'm like, let me show him. And I'm going to prove to him in this scripture and listening to the wife. And I go into all of those motions and I look at the comment section and I'm just like, man, it's just like women are just angry. And then I start looking up all this stuff on TD Jakes, right? Like, because like I said, low hanging fruit, all this stuff. And it's like the Ruach HaKodesh said to me. He said, Ashonda, you're looking at a snippet. Go listen to the entire message. Listen to the entire message. And I felt like it was only fair. It's only fair that when you're getting ready to address something that someone said, because we know we live in a microwave generation, we know that we live in a generation of sound bites that are taken, and oftentimes we're manipulated by the sound bites and they're taken out of context. So I took some time and I listened to the sermon. This was a Father's Day sermon that he did last month. Now, I am no fan of TD Jakes, but I listened to the sermon, and I have to be honest with y'all, family. The entire sermon was not about women, okay? The entire sermon was him checking men. He was checking the brothers. And there were plenty of things that he said that could have easily offended men. Plenty of things that he said. Y'all just heard where he said, because you're known for being mean and hateful and all this. He said that about the men before he said it about the women. He said about the men that men were mean, okay? And he said, you want to use the excuse that you're misunderstood. He said, no, you're not misunderstood. You're just plain out mean. So when he said that, I'm listening for context. And I said, my goodness. And honestly, family, y'all don't have to like my opinion. You don't. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. There's some things that he said in that message. I think that everyone, I'm not endorsing TD Jakes, but I think that everyone should have the opportunity to hear the entire message before judging that snippet. Because in context of what he said, what he was implying was that the balance has been off. And because the balance has been off, so much is put on the woman, and she's raised in this way that she should never have had to been raised in. Now, I have to be honest with y'all. I don't know, and I don't believe that this is every woman. I believe that in particular, this is Black women, Israelite women that are raised in this particular manner to where we have always had to be extra strong. Now, if y'all don't agree that we as Black women have had to be extra strong, then feel free to let me know in the comment section. If you think that this is something that's just exclusive to women worldwide, I don't. Because he even spoke about men, particularly toward the end. He spoke about men and their anatomy. And because of being bucks, and we know that it was only Black men during slavery who were bucks, because Black men have been bucks, they only see their significance in their male anatomy. And they don't see their significance in their presence. And they don't realize that the woman, their wife, is more interested in their presence, as he said, than their present. You understand the context of present. And I felt like that was extremely relevant. But he talked about the pain. He talked about being empty. He talked about how Yahusha, when he was upon the earth, he spoke about love first, then commands. And that's one of the things that we talk about often, being born again Israelites, is that you cannot obey the commands of the Most High unless you're born again, unless you have love. The first command is to love the Most High with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and your neighbor as yourself. So that's the first command. The greatest command is to love. And he was talking about how men are absent of love because they have not known love by their own fathers. And neither have we as women. So I wanted to put some context into that. Okay, I really wanted to put some context into that because I think it's important that we understand that there is a certain push. And immediately, like someone said initially, they said, well, you know, he's jumping on the Kevin Samuels bandwagon. I thought that too. I immediately thought that. I said, man, this dude is just jumping on the Kevin Samuels bandwagon until I heard the entire teaching. And what I found was funny is that though the entire message, I would say a good 50 minutes out of the message were targeted towards the men because this was Father's Day, and you had maybe about 5 or 6 minutes targeted towards women, I find it interesting that I didn't hear any men complaining. I find it interesting that I didn't hear men up in arms, angry about anything that he said. And I listened to the message. I'm not talking about what somebody else said, family. I'm talking about to the message that I heard. I listened to it and I didn't hear and I didn't see in the comment section men saying, no, man, I can't believe this dude just put me out there like that, yo. I didn't hear that. I didn't see that. But then again, the reason why is because that portion, everything he said about the men was not blown up. Everything he said about the men was not highlighted, but he made the comment about the women, and that was highlighted. And I believe that was for the purpose of continuing to divide us. You see, I believe that there's an active role of Hasatan by the spirit of Jezebel, the spirit of Ahab, the spirit of this world, and the spirit of white supremacy, even to continuously keep us divided. There's a serious, if you really look at online, you're going to see a serious push towards the gender wars, particularly between Black men and Black women. And I think we need to deal with that. Now, there's a lot, that we need to unpack because, yes, I agree with y'all. T.D. Jakes, his doctrine is off in so many ways. Another thing that I have a problem with T.D. Jakes, before I saw the sermon, I said, you know what? Let's just be honest about TD, okay? For me, it's the messenger. For me, I have a problem with the messenger because here it is. It's T.D. Jakes that is bringing this point to the light. But T.D. Jakes is also the man that is responsible for pushing that narrative, okay? He's the one that built his ministry off of the backs of Black women. Am I right? Yeah, he did. Okay, he pushed his ministry focusing specifically on Black women in general, but particularly Black women, pushing them into their purpose. Y'all remember Woman Thou Art Loosed. Y'all remember Juanita Bynum. And then, of course, the infamous Paula White, a non-melanated woman. But they got their success through T.D. Jakes. Not to mention that Oprah Winfrey. Not to mention when he talked about, you're pursuing the corporate ladder. You're pursuing the corporate ladder. However, you're destroying the homes. And I want to talk about that. This is really what we're going to talk about tonight. And we're going to get an opportunity. Like I said, if you want to jump into the chat, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull it up. So if you want to jump in and you want to give your opinion, you want to give your perspective, you are more than welcome to. And understand, family, this is not doctrine. This is opinion. Okay? So if you want to share your thoughts, your perspective, then you are more than welcome to do so. And we're all going to be respectful of one another's perspective and opinions. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in here in the chat while I'm sharing the information I'm sharing. For those of you who want to give your point of view, I'm just going to lock that in and pin that in to the comments. All right, I got that done. So in any case, we're gonna ask a couple of questions before those of you who want to come in. Working women, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. If you could afford to not work outside of the home and just take care of your family, would you? This is women who work outside of the home. If you could afford to not work outside of the home and just stay in the home, because he talked about the whole, we're losing you. You're out there working and we're losing you. We're losing the family. If you could afford to stay in the home and not have to go out and work and take care of your families, would you? All right. Judea Song says, yes, I would. Milka Knows Light, yes. Tratney 1. Faithful Sister and Yad, yes. SJ 1. China, no. I'm sorry, 1. If you would prefer to continue to work regardless, you can put a 2. Go ahead, put a 2. Yas Grace, 1. Shalisha says, yes. Chosen Hebrew, 1. Susan Gaboni says, 1. I'm retired now. Joy says, if I could afford it, I would stay home. Call Me Cat says 1. Ann says 1. You Taylor says 1. Lovely Africa says 1. Mrs. Wheeler says 1. I don't see one woman in this chat that has responded that has said, Brew Queen says she's retired, 1. Okay? I don't see any women in the chat that have responded and said, no, I would go out there and I would work. Talisha Yah says, hubby let me quit my federal job. Okay, well, praise Yah. Yah Beatrice says yes. Okay, Evie says no, says yes and no. I love my job, but I'd also like to stay home with my 4 children. Okay, very good. That's a very honest perspective. Okay. Miss Lils Morris, one. I did. We believe y'all says I stay at home. All right. Mariah one says one. All right. Very good. Very good. Now here's the question for the brothers. All right. This is for the brothers. Ladies, if you haven't put a one in, don't worry about it. Now this is just for the brothers. Put a one in the chat if you would prefer for your wife to be home if you could afford to take care of the family all on your own income. If you would prefer for your wife to stay home, if you could afford it. If the answer is no, put a 2. If you want to give an explanation, feel free. This is why I said this is an important conversation to have. You see, because when we get past the sound bites and we get past the emotions of it all, we really need to have a serious dialogue about what's happened between us as a people. We need to have a really serious dialogue. And that's why I'm here today, so that we can have these conversations. Jay Highstyle says 1. Chris Hayes says 1. All right. Stay on Fire Ministry says 1. Peace and blessings, my brother. Jacob Seed, absolutely 1. Yaquaba, 1. All right. Todd Wilson says 1. TL Word says, not all of us will be saved. Not all men will be men. Not all women will be women. 1. Okay. Carolina says 1. Yahuwah's Kingdom. I've been doing it for 21 years now. Okay. All right. I think you might be a woman, though. Okay. If you say I've been doing it, you've been at home for 21 years now. Okay. RC says, my wife been staying home our entire 11 years of marriage. Hallelujah. All right. Praise Yah for that. Azariah ben Yehuda, 1. My ex stayed home. That was back in the 90s. Wouldn't be conducive nowadays unless you're making 6 figures. And that's the thing, y'all. We have to talk about that. Yes, y'all, definitely. Hit that thumbs up. This is a much needed conversation that we have to have among our people. We just straight up have to have it. Okay. We need these conversations more often than not. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Here's the reality. Based off of what I hear all of you saying, you're saying pretty much the same thing. You're saying the same thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, for me, I've been home the majority of my married life. My husband and I we're celebrating 17 years of marriage in a couple of weeks. Praise Yahuwah for that. And for the majority of my married life, I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've worked outside of the home several times, but the majority has been in the home. And part of the reason why it's been in the home is because the Most High called me to be a homeschool mom. And, it's kind of difficult to be a homeschool mom. Not that it's impossible, but it's kind of difficult to be a homeschool mom and be working outside of the home. There are women who do it, and I praise Yah for them. I am not anti-work, Black woman work outside of the home, and I'm not anti-Black woman stay at home either. I am of the mindset that whatever is best for your family, whatever level of energy that you have, whatever level of expertise that you want to put out, then you and your husband, you and your spouse, you all make the decision that is best for you. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, the truth is among the Black community that is not something that is readily available. Okay. And the reason why it's not readily available to us, and this is where I think that TD Jakes, he did a really, really poor job, is in not doing his research. The reason why this is not readily available to us is because we live in a system that demands that there are 2 incomes. Now, I said I don't work outside of the home, but I do bring in a part-time income. I have my coaching business, and I'm very thankful for that. I do get support from you all, and I'm thankful for that. And at times I work outside in terms of part-time work and helping local organizations, and I'm thankful for that. But for the majority, I stay at home and I take care of my family, and whatever I bring is to help the family. It is not to anchor the family. Okay. So there are certain things that my family, especially being that we're a large family, has had to do without. There are certain things that I would love, a certain lifestyle that I would love to have that my husband and I were not able to have because I wasn't out there working 40 to 50 and 60 hours and putting my children in public school. And I think that some of us on this chat can definitely appreciate that. We can understand that there's going to be sacrifices. There's going to be sacrifices if the woman stays at home, because we have a market that demands, because of inflation, because of the high